Hi, this is Bill Prater, and welcome to Supercharging Business Success. Our mission is to give you timely, provocative, and actionable resources that inspire, promote, and accelerate your quest for business excellence. Today's episode is how to change the conversation and change your results. We'll do that in just 7 minutes with Chris Westfall. Chris is a business coach, keynote speaker, author who's helped launch over 60 businesses, raising over 100 million in investment capital, and rising entrepreneurs, executives, and future leaders turn to Chris for guidance on peak performance, team building, business development, branding, and more. He's recognized as the U.S. National Elevator Pitch Champion. Chris is the publisher of 7 books. He's a corporate trainer and coach to global businesses, entrepreneurs, and executives across a broad array of industries. Chris, it's great to have you here.
Thank you so much, Bill. It's an honor and a pleasure. Looking forward to speaking with you.
Beautiful. So I know a bit, but our listeners might not know who is your exact ideal client.
My client, Bill, is frustrated. My client knows the frustration of trying to go from a commodity to creating value, to creating a conversation that creates distinction, that drives that kind of interest so that they can survive in a competitive environment. And that means that my clients are folks who are executives at Fortune 500 companies like Facebook and others, but they're also entrepreneurs, high growth entrepreneurs who understand that the way that you tell your story, the way that you communicate is the secret of creating powerful leadership, marketing, sales, and more.
That's fantastic. So if you could zero in on one, what's the primary problem they all share that you solve?
The ability to share ideas with clarity and confidence so that people can get enrolled and engaged. You know, there's 2 ways to talk about any subject on earth. One way is to use what I call the reporting voice, like a white paper or a weather report, right? It's filled with information, and that's the way that we communicate so much of the time. But there's another kind of language, and it's the language of creation. It's the language that creates agreements and gets people involved. It's a language that is compelling. And I help my clients to see that providing information isn't what's needed. Information is everywhere. What is it that inspires action? What is it that creates a plan for agreement, for relationships and partnerships so that you drive distinction and enrollment in your leadership vision?
That's fantastic. So question number 3 is, you've mentioned frustration, but in addition to frustration, what other symptoms, emotions, feelings might people have inside them that would inspire them to reach out and talk to you, Chris?
They're looking to navigate some waters that they haven't seen before. I mean, that was the case for the entrepreneur in Denton, Texas, who reached out to me and he said, Chris, I've got to tell a story in front of Mark Cuban and Mr. Wonderful and Barbara Corcoran on Shark Tank, and I need your help. And so when you go up against that impossible task, that audience that you know is going to challenge you, typically that's when people reach out to me so that they can overcome their challenges with a new level of insight. And Bill, I tell you, I'm no guru, but my expertise is in pointing people towards their own resourcefulness and helping them to get out of their own way. That's what I did for my client who showed up on Shark Tank. That's why he walked away with an unprecedented deal that had never happened before in the show's 12 seasons. So, I mean, and again, that's one story among many of how people can see new pathways through my coaching and the work that I do around leadership communication.
So Chris, people listening to us are leaders, entrepreneurs, or business owners. They've been taught since they were little teeny infants to take care of themselves and do it all by themselves. So what are the mistakes that people typically make that you see all the time, trying to say, okay, I know how to do this. I'll do it myself. I don't need Chris.
Bill, you're talking about me. I know exactly what you're talking about because I'm an entrepreneur and I have entrepreneur-itis, which is what you're describing. And Bill, I hired a coach myself. I always want a coach in my corner, somebody that I'm working with. And she's in Southern California and she's a surfer. And she said to me one time, and I'm a Midwestern guy, so stories of surfing are like, wow, that's kind of far out. But I've been to the ocean. I understand the concept. She says to me, listen, there's one thing that every surfer will tell you, and it's this: the wave always comes to you. And I thought about that for a second, and my own experience in the ocean, that's absolutely true. But so many times I'm trying to create waves. I'm trying to make waves. I'm trying to turn the earth and change the moon's gravitational pull on me, all kinds of things. But when you really get down to it, the wave always comes to you. The key is you have to be in the ocean. You got to be ready for it. But the wave always comes to you. And that's what we lose sight of so many times as entrepreneurs. At least that's been my experience.
I love the beautiful metaphors and the little client stories you're telling us about. Appreciate that very much. So think about one single thing. What's one valuable free action that our listeners could take right away today, maybe, that would help them move down the path that you're verbalizing?
Check out my YouTube channel. I've got hundreds of videos on there that can help you to access powerful communication skills, to take a new look at the way that you train and onboard your employees, to grasp a deeper understanding of leadership. And that's youtube.com/Westfall Online. And that's also my website, westfallonline.com. You can find me on Instagram there, et cetera, et cetera. But Westfall Online on YouTube will give you access to a number of free resources.
Fantastic. That I didn't realize that you had that YouTube channel. I'm heading there when I get a chance.
Right. Well, I'll see you there.
You'll see me there. Question number 6.
Okay.
And that is, I know you've got a beautiful free gift to offer to our listeners. So what is the gift, Chris, and where would they go on your website to get their hands on it?
Bill, I've never done anything like this before, but it's you. And I said, you know what? I want to try to make an impact for these entrepreneurs. So what I'm doing is I'm giving away, for the first 50 people that sign up, you're going to get a copy of Leadership Language. Leadership Language. This is my book. It came out in 2018. It's helped a lot of people. And I think it could help your listeners and the folks who are hearing my voice right now. So if you sign up, the URL for the special free offer is westfallonline.com/SBS Sierra Baker Sierra. That's
beautiful.
The URL.
Supercharging business success. Initials are SBS. Beautiful. Hey, Chris, look, I told you I'd ask you 7 questions. I only thought of 6. So what question were you waiting for? And then what's the answer to that question?
Well, the number one question that people always ask me when they hear about this National Elevator Pitch Champion thing is they go, well, Chris, what's your elevator pitch? And you know how when people ask you that question, it's so easy to fall back into talking about your accomplishments and your achievements, right? Because you want to be impressive. You want to be admired so that you can be hired. And the thing that I've discovered as a professional pitchman is how important it is to stop pitching and to just have a conversation that concentrates on the value that I can create for the person right in front of me. Because what I did for my client who works at Facebook or at Salesforce, or the entrepreneur that's running the fastest growing business in the state of Colorado, while those things might be impressive, they aren't your journey. And for me, it's that focus on the kind of service that I can provide that's greater than anything that I've achieved in the past. Because I'll tell you what, I'm not living for tomorrow based on what I did yesterday. I'm looking for that client that wants to make an impact, that's trying to navigate some waters that seem unfamiliar, trying to create distinction in a world of commodities and competition. And if that's you, you can check out my website and you'll see the link, and you can find a way to contact me if you'd like to set up a time to talk. I'd be more than happy to see if we could really change the conversation and change your results.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And everybody, Chris is being serious about this. You go to his website and he's got an invitation right there to schedule time to talk to him one-on-one. What an additional free little bonus that I happened to see a few minutes ago. So thanks, Chris. Hey, everybody, look, in closing, let's focus on a single fact, and that is this. Businesses do not become extraordinary in a single moment. Instead, they get there as a result of you and I, the owners, first learning and then applying a proven combination of having the right mindset, of a dedication to a system of management, and third, leveraging high performance teams inside our company and outside it. So thanks for listening. Chris, thank you for being here with us.
Great to be with you, Bill. Thanks so much.